Namaste everyone and welcome to today's short video on the upcoming eclipse, solar eclipse coming up tomorrow, December 14th between 8:33 a.m. 8:33 a.m. Eastern time to about 1:53 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern time. Now there are some salient features of this. It is almost going into a Kala Sarpa Yoga, a similar formation that we saw during the last December 25th eclipse. Now this eclipse brought about a lot of changes in this world, a lot of problems in this world. And we see it has cast a big shadow over the world's biggest economy, America. And there is a big presidential war taking place right now. And no matter who wins, the problems are not going to end. Even if we say Trump ends up conceding, and even if, as we say, the president-elect Joe Biden, mostly supported by the media and other industry bigwigs, the Democratic Party and others. So even if they win, but there will be rioting and other problems by supporters on one side, and even if somehow Trump manages to hijack, or even so, both ways, no matter what the result, there is said to be a pandemonium for the next few months. And this is the point I'm trying to say is, no matter who becomes the president, no matter who it is, there are stronger energies on this planet, darker, larger energies who are controlling the politics of this world to a large extent. And they are fighting these proxy wars. And because of that, there will be a lot of small wars. We see in Africa, all of a sudden, there are so many wars, even in between these pandemics. Everybody is busy trying to, in Ethiopia, there is literally such a big war that is taking place all of a sudden. And so are many other countries. So there is then India and China border. You don't know when it can erupt again. So similarly, Indo-Pak border, which are very sensitive. We also saw war between Azerbaijan and Armenia. So a lot of these wars are taking place and are set to continue because it is not just them. There are many players who want to fight proxy wars. So this is a world war, literally. And this is set to continue till April, until there will be a lot of power bargaining. And especially China will push on more with these wars, and we see that USA is kind of retreating from the world in terms of domination, and China is set to um, dominate for some time. So a strong leadership in the world is what is required right now, and we can see that some forces are fomenting trouble so that there is no political stability in any place. So only when there is political stability can you bring about some strong policies. And especially we can see in India that Modi is bringing about policies, but then he has to face so much unrest and so many problems are coming up. So we can see this trend will continue till April, and these vaccines, whatever they may be, but no one is predicting that even if the vaccines are given, that these problems will be over soon. They are set to continue till April, May, after which there will be a short break after April. And then again next winter, kind of, there will be a certain set of problems again in this, but it will be more or less after April, there will be some relief. But then there will be parts and parts where things will again get tense. So we can realize that although the media today is completely corrupt in one sense, that they will never show the truth, because everyone is paying the media to hide the truth or further their propaganda. And this is what is being done for many, many years. Even we see here, you only in social media, even then there is so much censorship. So this is nothing but, in one sense, an information war. At the same time, uh, nobody is able to understand the true nature of, although this virus is destructive, but where did it originate? Why did it originate? So there's so many questions remain. So this information, so there is censorship. So that itself is a war. Plus the political instability. So no matter who comes, so there will be this political instability and this situation continuing. Now, on top of it, the combination on December 21st. So if I edit the chart and we put it on December 21st, and we find the combination of Saturn and Jupiter together. It's a very wonderful togetherness. But it is said to bring about some more undesirable effects in this world. There is This is good combination in the sense that it will expose many dark energies, and all these mini wars are set to explode. However, we should understand that in this world right now, there is a lot of people who are pious also, people who are spiritually focused at the same time. They balance the energy of this earth. So the only thing that people do not understand is, what is this karma? A Why does this karma come? Is because of especially cow slaughter, animal killing in mass, and that karma is coming back. So the more people become vegetarian, the more this karma will reduce. But although at the beginning of this pandemic, people started thinking about it, animal eating was the cause of this, but then the movement kind of died down. However, if more people take up vegetarianism, if more people take up spirituality, so then what happens? So then there is a good chance that this karma can be countered. Otherwise, no matter what maneuvers you do, no matter what people want, they want a stable government, they don't want wars, nobody wants war, nobody wants this pandemic, but literally this karma is forcing the situation. So astrology is not fatalistic. You can change your karma. So the more and more people take up spirituality, this karma can be countered. And we can see here, this is December 21st, the sun and the Saturn and Jupiter in conjunction. And this is a conjunction that happens kind of very rare, but the problem is that Jupiter and Saturn are conjuncting. It's rare because it's in the debilitation, and Saturn is in its own house. So Saturn is lawmaker. He gives back the karma as they deserve. So sometimes we think, why these kind of politicians, these kind of leaders, they are exploiting, so many rich companies, they are becoming richer and poor people are suffering. So there is a lot of karmic activity in the, so the karma behind this. So that is why whenever somebody comes to me, we do the astrology chart reading. Rather than looking at this is the problem, this is the problem, you look at what the astrological chart is trying to tell you, that the karma of this world, the karma that you are undergoing, is a result of certain activities that you have done. If we change that activity, if we change that behavior, if we change the karma altogether, then you can get some relief. Now, this karmic change, so this comes with sincere interest. I have a sincere interest to change this. So sometimes we go through a lot of difficulties in life, or somebody doesn't like us, husband and wife, there are fights, we go through some difficulties, but eventually most people don't like each other's behavior or the way they do things. But if they change, they are ready to forgive. So similarly, all this karma will affect people as long as they do not want to change. If they are willing to change, the first change will come. If mass of the people are ready to give up meat eating, then this karma can be changed rapidly. All these difficulties can be changed rapidly. But however, somehow, because of the mass media or the situation, everybody is in such a hurry all the time, just trying to maintain themselves. So it's just, although we know we have to change the situation, nobody is able to do anything. You're just going with the flow. So all these combinations that are there, they can be both good and bad. So Saturn and Jupiter, so Saturn is trying to um, uplift Jupiter here, because Saturn is in its own house, Jupiter is debilitated, remember. So it can give the best effect possible also. What is the best possible effect that can come? So exalted Jupiter. But that is when people have to make that decision to change in mass, or a certain majority of the people have to make this decision. We want to change the karma of this world. It's a long shot, but it can really work. So that is why Arjuna heard the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, because he was in a predicament. He was in a battle. So today situation is that of a battle. Everybody is complaining that China is trying to take over. China is trying to make the US unstable. Yes, that is there. But until the karma of this cow killing, animal killing, all these things are present, and we see there is a lot of movement against that also. There is veganism, this and that. People are trying to change because it is bad karma. So until that number sufficiently increases, the effect of the negative karma remains, and everybody has to suffer. We suffer two things. One is the mass karma, the situation, but then everyone has an individual karma also. So that is why not everybody is affected by this difficulty in the same manner. So if you have sufficient good karma on your individual horoscope, then these difficulties will not bother you so much. However, for the vast majority of the people, however, there will be a lot of difficulty. Now the shadow of this particular uh, eclipse, we will see, is going to fall over South America and Africa, as we can see here. And that is where the maximum effect will be. There will be a lot of wars, a lot of famine, food crisis coming up in South America and Africa. And then on top of it, all the superpowers will be playing their proxy wars in these different countries, both in Africa and South America. So all these superpowers are trying to control through proxy, because they want to control African land for food, South America for its resources. So war is big business, so to speak. So now for the next 4 months, because of this effect, the maximum effect of this Kal Sarpa Yoga will be on these countries. Also, because of the unstable leadership of the US, we find that US will not be able to lead as it does previously, and that gap. And Europe is also kind of crippled, trying to stand on its own feet. It is facing Brexit. So what happens? So then in comes one stable leadership, that is China, so which is trying to take over everywhere. So that is the next era. For the next few years, China will be trying to start these small wars. It has already started with India. It is supporting Pakistan to start a war. So all this will take place. But eventually, after 5, 6 years, this will lead to a different change over for the whole world, a shift in powers. And that is starting right now with this solar eclipse. So this is the period where all these changes are occurring. It has been happening for some time, but now with this eclipse, it's going to exaggerate for the next few months. There will be a total power shift. Many countries will be literally going through tons of difficulties. And but however, after April, there will be some stability for a few months. Then winter again, there will be some more problem next winter, but by then people would have gotten used to it. It will become something like the new normal. Then things are set to improve. It will take 2 to 3 years for the world to come back to a level of stability after going through all the changes it will go through. So for the next 2 to 3 years, please, as many people can change to vegetarianism, to spirituality, each person can make a big difference to this world. And if anyone has to take up chanting, and if we are not doing it intensely enough, meditation, yoga, spirituality, vegetarianism, this is the time to take up everything intensely, because you are not only going to benefit yourself, but if you're going to benefit the whole planet. Hmm? Thank you all so much. What are the things to do? We try to avoid eating till the eclipse is done. So during the eclipse time, we avoid eating anything. After that, we take a shower, and then we cook fresh, and then we eat. So that is something I would suggest that you can do. And in that way, we ward off all the negative effects of the eclipse on our food, etc. And at the same time, this is the best time to meditate. So meditating on mantra, chanting, reading, this is the best time. So you have 8:30 to 2 o'clock almost. So you have 5 hours, 5.5 hours of intense, and you get million times more benefit. So whenever there is difficulty, that's an opportunity for a higher spiritual activity. And here it is in this solar eclipse. Please do this, read and chant, read scriptures, practice meditation, not asanas though, but meditation. It's a good time to chant mantras and do intense inner meditation. So you have this great opportunity. So let's do that, make the best use. And whatever we are doing, spiritual practices, let us take it more seriously, more intensely, and you will see a wonderful result will come to those practitioners, different from what is going on in all this difficulty and pandemic. So wish you all the best, and hope all of you make the best use of this solar eclipse. Thank you so much. Namaste. See you soon again.